Hey you guys, it's Techie, and this is a 6-year-old MacBook Pro. Macs have made themselves a reputation of being very long-lasting, well-aging machines that hold their resale value very well over time. This video is kind of inspired by a video that Austin Evans did a while back about a 10-year-old PC versus a 10-year-old Mac, and so I thought I'd do something kind of similar with this here MacBook Pro. The one I have is a 13-inch 2010 model, and so we're going to test this out to see if it's true, if Macs really do age that well, and if they do hold their resale value. So let's go test that out. So when we look at the specs, it's not looking too good for this Mac right now. The specs are pretty dated. It's got a 2.4 gigahertz Intel Core 2 Duo, 4 gigabytes of DDR3 RAM, albeit very slow at 1067 megahertz. A GeForce 320M with 356 megabytes of VRAM. And this also has a 250 gigabyte hard drive, not an SSD, but a hard drive. And that definitely makes a machine slow over time. So I guess that means we need to test it and see if all those specs really mean anything. So with those specs in mind, we're going to take a look at three main categories: general use, gaming, and productions. So for general use, we're going to do a little bit of web browsing. We're going to load some HD videos on YouTube, see how well it handles that. For gaming, we're going to play some video games on there. Nothing major, a few older games that most computers should be able to handle. And for productions, we're going to run a benchmark, and that'll kind of give us an idea on how well the computer can handle things like video editing or music production. So let's get on to the general use part first. So to test out just the general use part of this laptop, we are just going to do a little bit of web browsing. Nothing too heavy. Just go to a few websites and load a few videos and see how well it handles that. So let's do that by going into Chrome and opening up a new window. And so let's go to, let's say, load up Apple's website first. So as you can see, it's pretty quick. And let's load up one more website just to see. And so not too bad on Amazon's website. Loads it up fairly quick, but there's definitely a little bit of a delay. Amazon's website does have a lot more stuff going on graphics-wise, so it did take a second more to load. So now let's go to YouTube and try and load some videos in HD. So here I have a video I can play that'll let us pull a video up in 1080p, and so we're going to see how well it does that. Note though, this screen will not technically show in 1080p. This is a, I believe, 1280 by 800 display, but it will load the file. So let's load this video up and see how well it does. So we're going to put it into 1080p and let it buffer. Oh, and didn't take too long at all. So I guess it passes all the general tasks. It surfs the web smoothly, it loads videos smoothly. So it's a perfect little general use computer still. So for the gaming portion of this, we're going to run Counter-Strike Source. It's an older game that this computer should be able to run. Most computers can. And we're just going to run the built-in video stress test and see how it does there. And here we are in the stress test. And it seems to be running fairly smooth. But then again, this is a game from 2004, so I would imagine most PCs should be able to handle it. So after running that test, the results came back and it says that your average frame rate during the stress test was 42.8 FPS. So yeah, it can play some older games. It can handle Counter-Strike Source, Gary's mod. It can handle a little bit newer games like Left 4 Dead if you turn the settings down lower. So I guess it passes that test too, surprisingly. So for the final part, we're just going to run a quick trial of Geekbench 3 to show us how much power is under the hood. So let's get that started. And so we have the results back with a single core score of 1361 and a multi-core score of 2462. Honestly, it's not a great score. There are phones right now that can pull a better score than this, but they're not laptops, so we're not going to compare it too much to them. So a decent amount of power under there, not weak. It ranks about the same as a newer Intel Atom or a new Intel Celeron. So not too bad of a score. So here I have on eBay pulled up a bunch of MacBooks that are the same model that I've been playing with, the 2010 13-inch model. And you can see that the prices go as low as 200 and as high as 500. When this thing was released, it cost around $1,000, and so compared to most PCs from 2010, laptops specifically, this has held its value fairly well, seeing as most PCs from that time aren't running today. So I think I just showed that 6 years later, this MacBook Pro is still kicking it just fine. It was able to handle all our web tasks. It was able to handle some lighter gaming. It showed that it's got a little bit of muscle with the Geekbench. This thing can handle a little bit of light video editing and music production, particularly with iMovie and GarageBand, which work very well on Macs. And like I showed a second ago, it held its resale value over the past 6 years pretty well compared to a Windows equivalent. So thanks for watching. If you like this, like and subscribe for more content like this. I'm sorry I haven't been uploading as much lately, but now that it's summer, you guys will be getting regular uploads from this channel. Thanks for watching.